You know, boot camp training has been around for quite a while now. In the last 5 years, it's become very popular. And what I see is, when I go out to boot camps, I see a lot of people going ahead and setting up boot camps with a lot of aggressive, heavy equipment. And that's fine if you don't have to carry that equipment around. But you know, when I started my boot camp in 2000, I started it and I didn't have a place or a facility to go ahead and train at. So I had to go where my clients were going to meet me. So we'd start at a park. As the weather became inclement, we went ahead and found a place indoors that we could train. But again, I was renting it, and I was renting it per session. So for that reason, I would go in, train, and leave. The other thing is, at the time, I was training athletes a lot. And again, when it came to training athletes, you had to go where the athletes were. And so I would train. My first high school camp was in a cafeteria where I walked in, set up my band stations, and ran a speed camp. 6 years later now, I'm the strength and conditioning coach for that school. And it's all because I was able to go where they needed me to go. And so when we talk about bands, you know, I've expressed to you the importance of training with elastic resistance and why that's important. But more importantly, I think sometimes you just got to look at practicality. And practicality is that, hey, I've got to go where my athletes and my clients need me to go. And if I'm going to do that, I've got to do it with something that's efficient and effective and doesn't challenge me or stress me physically to have to set up. So I think one of the greatest things to go ahead and use when you're first starting out is bands, for that reason. And so I thought I would show you today exactly how much you can go ahead and take with you in a simple bag. You'll see that I have my bag here. What I would typically do is pop the arm up and go wherever I want. I literally pull it where I want to go. Now I have quite a few trainers out there right now that do exactly this. They go ahead, fill up their bag with their bands and their equipment, and away they go, and they go out and start not only training clients, but they also go out and speak to groups and do referral building sessions with large groups. They also do workshops. And it allows them to go ahead and not only train these people and show them the importance of elastic resistance, but it also allows them to go ahead and start creating it as a referral source for their camps. Let me show you what I have all in here so you can see exactly how much you can put into a small bag. First of all, I have my Fitness Bootcamp manual. Okay, this has all my forms and things I need to run my fitness bootcamp. So I have all that put in there. I have my green bands for if I want to do some heavier tug-of-war training, or if I have some clients that are extremely strong and want to be challenged. So we have the green bands out there. I have in here not only 10 medium black bands, but I've also got 10 mini bands. So that's also in that package. So those are all in there. Here I have all my purple bands. I've got 10 of those. So right now, laying down here with 10, 20, 30, 34 bands, I can go ahead and set up, literally, I could potentially train 34 people with what you see in front of me. But that's not all I have in my bag. Over on the side pockets here, I have all my dynamic stabilizers, or excuse me, my band utility straps. All my band utility straps. So I can go ahead and set up in a park by hooking stations onto picnic tables, onto playground equipment, onto play benches, whatever it is. I know I can set up at least 6 stations that are attachment stations using my band utility straps. Over on this side, I have all my handles. So now I can go ahead and set up handle-based stations. And again, for a lot of people, they appreciate having handles because the bands sometimes bother their hands. But more importantly, by able to grab a handle, it creates a stabilization effect to your shoulder that allows you to stabilize better and push better. Over on my side pocket here, dynamic stabilizers. I have 6 dynamic stabilizers in here. You could carry a lot more. This is another 6 stations with dynamic stabilizers. So now you can go ahead, and I like to set up a dynamic stabilizer cardio station where they're doing shuffles, high knee skips, burpees, mountain climbers, but they have their dynamic stabilizer on. So it's a great station to go ahead and set up. And guess what? I still have another pocket on the outside if I want to go ahead and put something else in there. So now you go ahead, you take your bands, you put them back in. Notice how I have them set up. I have them all put together into a group. So we have them bound together so that when I go ahead and I set this up, a lot of times I use my band utility strap as my hooks. So I just take the band utility strap, hook it through, and now all my bands are hooked up into my band utility strap. Either that or I use a different colored band to go ahead and set it up. Zip that up. Make sure I put my manual inside so that's ready to go. Any forms, any referral stuff, any marketing materials we have, all can fit in here. We put the utility straps back into the side pocket. And literally, guys, you're ready to go anywhere you want to go. So, let's think about this. Portability. I have enough resistance in here to be able to train any football team. I have enough resistance in here and adaptability to train a female adult fitness camp. I have enough resistance and adaptability in here to train a youth camp if I would like to. And lastly, I can go where my clients, my athletes, my coaches, my corporations, where they want me to go. And ultimately, it's this. It's not the tool that is going to go ahead and get you the referral. It's not the tool that your client appreciates and enjoys. It's not the tool that the athlete jumps up and says, this is the greatest. It's you that makes the event. It's you that makes the experience. Bands simply help you make it easier and give you everything you need to be able to train and create that experience. And guess what? Putting it into a simple bag that you can carry around seems a whole lot easier to me than having to carry around a lot of heavy equipment that sometimes over time gets pretty laborious and pretty difficult to do. Bands in a bag. Consider it. I think it'll make your life a lot easier.